How to deal with external disrespect. 10 secrets from the Stoics. Resilience in the face of disrespect is one of life's greatest challenges. Each of us has experienced situations where our opinions, feelings, or efforts have been ignored or belittled. This can happen in both personal and professional relationships, and ultimately manifests itself in the form of humiliation, criticism, or simply inattention to our experiences. In such moments, it is especially important not to lose our inner harmony and self-satisfaction. Resilience in the face of disrespect shapes not only our personality, but also determines the quality of our interactions with the world around us. Stoicism, a school of philosophy that arose in ancient Rome and Greece, offers a unique approach to how to cope with such situations. The Stoics taught that our peace and balance of mind do not depend on external circumstances, but are formed within us. They believed that it is important to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot change. The practice of Stoicism helps us develop the capacity for self-management, perseverance, and the ability to see the world as it really is, independent of external influences and judgments. In this philosophy, we find not only theory, but also practical tools to help us manage our emotions and reactions to disrespect. In our world today, where social interactions can sometimes be difficult and social norms are rapidly changing, Stoicism remains a relevant and vital source of wisdom. It allows us to recognize that disrespect, while unpleasant, is often a part of the human experience. By applying Stoic ideas, we can learn to see such situations as opportunities for personal growth and self-improvement. Let's dive into these 10 lessons based on Stoic wisdom and virtues that will help us cope with social disrespect and find inner strength and harmony. Lesson 1. Accept the uncontrollable. The principle of accept the uncontrollable is the recognition that the reactions of others are beyond our control. We cannot change the opinions of others about us, but we can control our perceptions. Accept the uncontrollable is a key principle of Stoicism, which emphasizes the importance of distinguishing between what we can control and what, like fleeting clouds, passes over the horizon. Stoics like Epictetus said, "Do not let what is beyond your control disturb you." This is important because our emotional state and overall well-being are often influenced by the opinions of others, but it is important to remember that these opinions are beyond our control. For example, when someone judges our character or appearance, it says more about them than it does about us. We may face criticism in the workplace, in our family relationships, or among friends, but our minds can step back and analyze what we can achieve in a given situation. We cannot change the behavior of others, but we can control how we react to their words and actions. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius emphasizes in his Meditations, "If you have something that is not in your hands, treat it as if it did not exist." This reminder helps us focus on what really matters, our actions, decisions, and inner world. For example, if you are criticized for your creativity or professional skills, you can respond by focusing on your efforts and learning, instead of immersing yourself in self-judgment or resentment. Accepting that the opinions of others are beyond our control helps us find inner peace and clarity. This allows us to focus on our own values and goals without being distracted by external judgments and discussions. The art of managing our emotions is one of the main paths to resilience and harmony in a world full of changing opinions and judgments. Accepting that you are not in control is an important understanding that helps us better cope with the world around us. Here are 3 examples from life when this awareness can be useful. 1. Teamwork. Imagine you are working on a project with a team and one of your colleagues does not think your contribution is valuable enough. Even though you are trying to do your best, you cannot change their mind. Instead of wasting energy trying to convince them otherwise, you can focus on your own growth and improving your skills. Accepting the fact that everyone is entitled to their own opinion allows you to maintain self-confidence and continue working without losing motivation. 2. Social media. When a person shares their thoughts or photos on social media, they may face criticism or negative comments. Although personal experiences can be painful, it is important to remember that people's reactions to your posts are impossible to control. Instead of focusing on the opinions of random users, You can value your value regardless of their comments and continue sharing what you are truly interested in. 3. Personal relationships. In any friendship or romantic relationship, conflict can arise. For example, one of your close friends may misunderstand your intentions and become offended by you. You can't control how they perceive your situation or how they feel. Instead of trying to justify yourself or change your behavior, focus on open and honest communication. Explanations can help, but ultimately, your peace and stability depend not on others, but on your internal perception. Accepting that you can't control how others react to you allows you to stay in tune with your thoughts and emotions. This frees you from unnecessary stress and helps you focus on what's truly important to you. Lesson 2. Mistakes are part of human nature. Consider that disrespect can be caused by the imperfections of our environment, which means that everyone makes mistakes. Indeed, mistakes are an integral part of human nature, and recognizing this fact can significantly change the way we view others and ourselves. Humans are inherently imperfect, and as the Stoic Epictetus stated, it is not what happens to us, but how we react to it that matters. This statement emphasizes that instead of judging others for their mistakes, we should learn to understand and accept them as part of the common human experience. When we see our own imperfections, we are much more likely to show compassion to others. As Seneca said, we must remember that in human life everything is possible, since everything is subject to error. For example, imagine that a colleague at work made a mistake in a project, which led to failures. Instead of being disrespectful or angry, it's smarter to ask yourself, have I made a similar mistake before? This will help us realize that mistakes are not just someone else's problem, but also an opportunity for self-reflection and growth. Socrates also said, I know that I know nothing. This phrase reminds us of our limitations and that, despite our best efforts, we must recognize that anyone can miss important details or draw the wrong conclusions. Mistakes not only demonstrate our humanity, but also provide us with unique learning opportunities. Every time we fail, we have a chance to become wiser. By finding people's humanity and accepting that mistakes are normal, we can strengthen our relationships by building a supportive and understanding environment. As Marcus Aurelius said, people strive to do good. If they err, it is from lack of knowledge. Instead of treating others with contempt, let us help them learn and grow, recognizing that the very path to self-improvement goes through understanding and accepting imperfection. Mistakes are a natural part of being human, and are part of our experiences and interactions with others. Let's look at 3 real-life examples that demonstrate how mistakes can cause disrespect, but also provide an opportunity for understanding and forgiveness. 1. A work situation. Let's say an employee accidentally misinterprets data during an important meeting, leading to a poor decision. Co-workers may begin to judge him, believing that he is incompetent. However, any of us can be let down by nerves or lack of experience. By looking at this situation with understanding, co-workers will be able to see that everyone makes mistakes and better support each other to avoid similar situations in the future. 2. Family relationships. Let's consider a situation where a family member forgets an important day, such as a birthday. This can lead to regret, disappointment, and even anger. But instead of expressing disrespect or resentment, we can try to understand that the person may have had difficulties or stress that distracted their attention. Recognizing human nature makes us more tolerant and compassionate. 3. Communication with friends. In the company of friends, one of them accidentally makes a rude remark, not realizing that it can hurt the feelings of the other. The immediate reaction may be judgment and displeasure. However, it is important to remember that not all of us think before we speak, and such an incident can be seen as an opportunity for a frank conversation, where everyone can explain their feelings and be heard. All these examples emphasize that mistakes are an integral part of our lives. Instead of judging those who make mistakes, it is worth trying to see them as people who may experience the same difficulties as we do. This will allow us to build deeper and more trusting relationships. Lesson 3. Focus on actions, not reactions. Try focusing on your actions and how you want to behave instead of reacting to disrespect. Focusing on actions, not reactions, is a key principle of Stoic philosophy that helps maintain inner peace and clarity in the face of stress and adversity. Instead of reacting immediately to disrespect from others, Stoics encourage us to pay attention to our own actions and reactions, which we can control. Epictetus, one of the most famous Stoics, noted, "It is not things in themselves that disturb men, but their opinions about things." This idea emphasizes that it is our perception of a situation that creates inner unrest, not the events themselves. To illustrate this principle in practice, imagine a situation at work when a coworker makes a sarcastic comment about a project you are doing. Instead of responding with emotion, insults, or starting a fight, focus on how you want to behave as a professional. For example, you can respond calmly by inviting constructive criticism or simply ignoring the provocation and focusing on moving forward with your project. Seneca, another great Stoic, said, "The wise man does not judge the actions of others, because judging only distracts him from his own path." By following this principle, we can stop our emotions from controlling us and instead consciously choose our actions. Working on our own behavior often takes time and awareness, but as Marcus Aurelius says, you have power over your mind, not over events. Be aware of this, and you will find strength. They remind us that by managing our inner state, we can create more harmonious and productive relationships with others. Let's look at 3 examples from life that demonstrate how focusing on actions helps us not only with self-control, but also with control over the situation. 1. Teamwork. Imagine that you have a colleague on your team who often interrupts you during discussions. Instead of getting offended or reacting aggressively, you decide to focus on how you want to interact as a team. You can take the initiative and set a rule that each team member must give everyone a chance to finish their thought before asking questions or making comments. In this way, you are being proactive, creating a more respectful environment for everyone. 2. Interacting with a customer. Let's say you are working in customer service and you receive a rude and disgruntled call from a customer. Instead of reacting to their aggression or losing your temper, you decide to focus on how you want to help. You can ask the customer questions about their problem, help them understand the situation, and provide the necessary solutions, all while maintaining a polite and professional tone. In this way, you demonstrate your commitment to providing quality service, regardless of the customer's behavior. 3. Interacting with friends. Let's say you are in a group of friends and one of your acquaintances makes an inappropriate comment to you that could be perceived as ridicule. Instead of becoming hurtful or aggressive, you choose to focus on your behavior and how you want to maintain the friendship. You might say something like, "I'd prefer if we spoke to each other with respect. Let's discuss something else instead." This sets boundaries constructively without adding tension to the conversation. By focusing on how you want to behave, you don't allow external circumstances to determine your response, which leads to a more satisfying and sustainable life. If you found this content useful, please feel free to share it with your friends and family. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting and educational videos in the future. Lesson 4. Arm yourself with inner strength. The Stoics encourage us to develop inner strength and fortitude through the practices of self-analysis and meditation. Arming yourself with inner strength is one of the key tasks for achieving harmony and stability in life. The Stoics believe that a person's inner world shapes their reality, so developing inner strength and fortitude through self-analysis and meditation is an important aspect of philosophy. Self-analysis helps us become aware of our thoughts, feelings, and actions, while meditation helps us calm our minds and find wisdom in silence. For example, Seneca in his letters to Lucilius emphasizes the importance of self-awareness. Man is often the victim of his years, but when he learns to remember himself, he can become the master of his destiny. This idea suggests that inner understanding and acceptance of ourselves leads to gaining control over the circumstances in which we find ourselves. Meditation, as a method of working with the inner world, also plays an important role. Epictetus, another prominent Stoic, stated, "It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it." This quote highlights the need to work on your perception of reality. Meditation practice can help slow down your thoughts and give you the opportunity to reflect on your reactions to life's events, thereby increasing your level of resilience and inner strength. Additionally, regular self-reflection practice helps identify negative thought patterns and transform them into constructive approaches, which in turn promotes personal growth. For example, after a stressful day at work, instead of dwelling on negative thoughts about past failures, a practitioner can analyze what he or she could have done differently and use this experience to improve future interactions. By developing inner strength, we create a solid foundation for overcoming difficulties and adapting to changing life conditions. After all, as Marcus Aurelius said, the most important thing is not what happens to you, but how you react to it. This emphasizes that strength does not come from the absence of problems, but from our ability to cope with them. Equipping yourself with inner strength and resilience through the practice of self-reflection and meditation can be useful in various aspects of daily life. Here are 3 examples. 1. Stress at work. Imagine a situation where you are under pressure at work due to strict deadlines and high expectations. By practicing meditation and self-reflection, you can learn to recognize your emotions and reactions to stress. Visualization and deep breathing during meditation will help you calm down and maintain clarity of mind during difficult moments. This inner calm will allow you to more effectively solve problems and cope with challenges without succumbing to panic or anxiety. 2. Personal relationships. Conflicts and misunderstandings sometimes arise in relationships with loved ones. To equip yourself with inner strength, you can use the practice of self-reflection to understand your feelings and behavior in a conflict situation. Meditation will help you develop tolerance and empathy. Instead of reacting to arguments emotionally, you will be able to approach the solution rationally, understanding that everyone is entitled to their own opinions and feelings. This will lead to healthier and more open communication in your relationships. 3. A self-improvement project. Let's say you decide to start a new project that requires significant changes in your usual lifestyle, for example, getting in shape or learning a new language. Doubts and fears may arise along the way. Through the practice of meditation and self-reflection, you can track your thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back. This will allow you to rethink your beliefs and free yourself from self-criticism. Ultimately, you develop resilience and motivation to achieve your goals despite the difficulties. These 3 examples show how different aspects of life can be enriched by developing inner strength through meditation and self-reflection. This will help not only in overcoming current difficulties, but also in creating a stable foundation for future victories. Lesson 5. Studying philosophy. Studying philosophy, especially Stoic philosophy, is a powerful tool for strengthening the mind and preparing for external challenges. Stoicism as a system of thought emphasizes inner peace, self-control, and a philosophical approach to life, making it relevant in today's stressful and uncertain world. Regularly reading the works of Stoics such as Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus not only helps us understand the foundations of their teachings, but also helps us implement Stoic values in our daily lives. For example, Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, emphasizes the importance of each of us living a life of moments, and we must be careful how we use them. This idea inspires us to live each moment mindfully and not be distracted by trivialities that can distract us from our true goals. Seneca, in his letters to Lucilius, states that, "It is not the one who has little, but the one who desires more who is truly poor." This reminds us of the importance of contentment and gratitude, which is especially relevant in the context of the constant pursuit of material goods. Epictetus, in turn, urged his students to remember that, it is not things that disturb us, but our attitude toward them. This statement serves as a reminder that our perception of the world and our reactions to difficulties are what really affect our inner state. By taking this into account, we can learn to distinguish what is beyond our control and focus on what we can change. Thus, Stoic philosophy not only offers practical advice and wisdom for everyday life, but also forms a basis for resilience and inner strength, allowing us to more effectively cope with life's difficulties and various challenges. Studying Stoic wisdom opens up new horizons of self-knowledge and promotes the development of harmony within ourselves. Studying philosophy, in particular Stoicism, can significantly affect our perception of the world and our behavior in various life situations. Here are 3 real-life examples that illustrate this impact. 1. Stress at work. Imagine working in a highly competitive environment where constant deadlines and high workloads create a stressful environment. By reading Stoic philosophy, you can begin to view this stressful situation as an opportunity to develop your resilience. For example, by recalling the teachings of Epictetus, you can understand that your goodwill depends not on external circumstances, but on your attitude toward them. This can help you avoid panicking and focus on controlling your actions and reactions. 2. Personal relationships. Your friendship or romantic relationship is facing challenges. Instead of falling into despair or anger, the wisdom of Stoicism can help you stay calm. The Stoics taught that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can control our reactions to them. This understanding can help you approach conflicts with a more open mind, facilitating productive dialogue and problem solving. 3. Personal setbacks. We all face setbacks, whether it's losing a job, failing a project, or losing your health. Stoic philosophy teaches us to accept the unexpected as a part of life. Through the practice of meditation and self-reflection, you can see every failure as an opportunity to grow and learn. For example, if your idea fails, you can use it as a chance to analyze what went wrong and what can you do better next time. This will help you develop not only emotional fortitude, but also critical thinking. Studying philosophy, and especially Stoicism, offers tools for a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you, allowing you to endure difficult moments in life with greater wisdom and fortitude. Lesson 6. Change your perspective. Try to look at the situation from a different angle. Sometimes we take disrespect or negativity too personally, forgetting that the reasons for such behavior may be completely beyond our control. Often, disrespect from others is a reflection of their own internal conflicts, stresses, and problems. For example, a person who is aggressive or dismissive may be experiencing setbacks in life, playing the role of a victim, or under pressure from others. This idea is well illustrated by the famous quote from the Stoic Marcus Aurelius: "When someone offends me, I must remember that it is his problem, not mine." Imagine that someone at work is constantly criticizing your ideas. Instead of taking it personally, try to understand that perhaps this person is feeling insecure about his role or is afraid of losing funding for a project. This approach helps reduce stress and resentment, and also promotes more constructive interactions. Seneca also emphasized, if you don't want to be humiliated, stop taking humiliation so seriously. This reminds us that we can change our perception of a situation and free ourselves from the negative emotions of others. Changing perspective can also help us find opportunities for growth and development in difficult situations. For example, if you are criticized for some shortcomings, consider how you can use this criticism to improve your skills. Reducing the emotional load will allow you to look at the situation more objectively and, perhaps, protect you from negative influences. In this way, changing perspective can be a powerful tool in managing your emotions and interacting with others. Instead of immediately panicking or getting offended, we can consciously view others' behavior as a reflection of their personal lives and problems. This not only removes the emotional burden, but also allows us to approach interactions with greater wisdom and patience. Changing perspective can significantly change the way we perceive a situation and reduce the level of negative emotions. Here are 3 real-life examples where this reevaluation is important. 1. A conflict at work. You receive a harsh comment from a colleague at a meeting. At first glance, it may seem like it is disrespectful and unfair to your work. However, if you look at it from another perspective, you may suspect that this colleague is going through difficulties in his or her life, perhaps family problems or pressure from management. Their reaction may be due to their own stress, rather than directed at you. Try to understand their situation and perhaps offer help or support. 2. A discussion during a gathering with friends. You notice how one of your friends constantly interrupts you when you are speaking. Initially, it may seem like this is a sign of disrespect. However, if you change your perspective, you may realize that this person simply does not know how to listen properly. Perhaps they are too caught up in their own thoughts or are worried about their own personal problems. Once you understand this, you can discuss their behavior with them and listen to what is on their mind, which can strengthen your friendship. 3. Family problems. You feel that your loved ones do not appreciate your efforts and achievements. In this case, it is important to consider that perhaps they themselves need support and are not confident in their efforts. For example, your parents may be under pressure from work, which is reflected in their perception. By reframing the situation, you can find more understanding and openly discuss your experiences, which will help both of you. Changing your perspective allows you to not only reduce negative emotions, but also to better understand others. Sometimes we forget that each person is going through their own struggles, and their behavior may be the result of their own problems. Lesson 7. Gratitude practice. Gratitude practice is an important aspect of Stoic philosophy that helps us focus on what we already have rather than what we lack. The Stoics encourage us to appreciate the simple things in our lives: health, friends, opportunities for learning and self-improvement. As Epictetus says, it is not what happens to us, but how we respond to it that matters. This underscores the concept that our perception of the world is the key to our inner peace. When we practice gratitude, we remind ourselves of the positive aspects of our lives. For example, imagine a day when you are facing challenges at work or in your personal life. Instead of allowing negative emotions to take over your attention, you can stop and think about what you do have: support from loved ones, opportunities to learn from your mistakes, and simple joys like a warm evening or a delicious meal. The sage Seneca adds, "Never tie your soul to the opinions of others." Learn to be grateful for your existence and begin to see all that has been given, not lost. The practice of gratitude can be especially useful in moments when you are faced with disrespect or criticism from others. By recognizing your own achievements and virtues, you will be able to see room for growth and self-improvement, instead of immersing yourself in negativity. In this context, it is worth remembering the words of Marcus Aurelius: "When your mind is filled with negative thoughts, will you blame yourself for it more? Lower your attention, turn to what really matters, adjust your peace of mind." Thus, by practicing gratitude, we not only develop a positive attitude towards life, but also create a stable defense within ourselves from external factors that can cause despondency and discontent. This becomes the basis for creating a harmonious inner world and allows us to find joy even in the most difficult circumstances. Practicing gratitude can dramatically change the way we view life and help us create a positive inner world. Below are 3 real-life examples that demonstrate how this works. 1. Gratitude for family and friends. Many people can sometimes underestimate the support of their loved ones, especially during difficult times. For example, imagine a person who is stressed at work and feels overwhelmed. Instead of dwelling on the negative and dissatisfaction with their career, they can sit down every night and write down 5 things they are grateful for. These could be supportive family members, enjoyable moments spent with friends, or simply the realization that they have a roof over their head and food on the table. Ultimately, this practice helps them rewire their internal dialogue and see the positive in their life. 2. Gratitude for health. Using an example, consider a person who has recovered from a serious illness. After recovery, they begin to realize how important it is to appreciate every moment spent in good health. They begin to keep track of their physical abilities, enjoying their morning jogs or the opportunity to play their favorite sport. Instead of complaining about fatigue or minor ailments, he finds gratitude for being able to do what he loves, and thus gains a more positive outlook on life. 3. Gratitude for experiences. Imagine a student who has failed an exam. Instead of wallowing in self-deception and regret, he decides to use the experience as an opportunity for growth. He notes that although the failure was painful, it taught him to manage his time better, take his studies more seriously, and ask for help when he struggles. By noting these lessons, he can be grateful for the experiences that have improved his skills and strengthened his character, which will lead to more success in the future. Practicing gratitude helps change the way we perceive events and develop a positive outlook on life. Often, it is in moments when we face difficulties that it is most important to remember what we can be grateful for. This not only improves our mood, but also contributes to better mental health. Learn to appreciate what you have despite the disrespect, and this will help you create a positive inner world. Lesson 8. Set boundaries. Setting boundaries is an important aspect that helps maintain our peace of mind and self-respect. When others start to behave disrespectfully or aggressively, it is important to make it clear that such behavior is unacceptable. This not only protects us, but also shows others that we value our own dignity. The Stoics emphasized the importance of self-respect and control over our reactions. As Epictetus said, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This principle emphasizes the need to have internal boundaries and not allow others to cross them. For example, in a work environment, if a colleague starts speaking to you in a harsh tone or criticizing you in public, it is important to stop them and let them know that this approach is unacceptable. You can say, "I appreciate constructive criticism, but I ask that you discuss such issues in a more respectful and private setting." This will help create a healthy atmosphere and demonstrate to others that you deserve respect. As Seneca noted, you should not submit to anything that does not respect you. Setting and protecting boundaries not only helps in your personal life, but also in social relationships, promoting overall well-being and respect between people. It is important to remember that setting boundaries is not an act of aggression, but an expression of self-respect and concern for your emotional state. In addition, when we set boundaries, we set an example for others, encouraging them to respect their own boundaries as well. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man who knows that his life is his own responsibility will never allow another to violate his personal boundaries." Setting boundaries is an important aspect of healthy communication and self-esteem. Here are 3 real-life examples where this may be especially important. 1. In the workplace. Imagine that your coworkers constantly ask you to stay late to help them with their tasks, even though you have your own commitments. It's important to be upfront and say, "I appreciate you trusting me to help you, but I have my own deadlines and personal life, so I can't stay after work on a regular basis." This sets a boundary, allowing you to maintain a work-life balance. 2. With friends. Let's say your friend often cancels plans at the last minute without showing any regrets. In this situation, you can say, "It's important to me to spend time with people who value our arrangements. If you're not sure you can make it, please let me know in advance." This lets your friend know that your time and feelings are important. 3. In relationships. Constantly making jokes about your appearance or other personal qualities can be hurtful, even if they're made in a playful manner. In this case, it's important to set a boundary. "I know this is a joke, but these comments hurt me. Please, let's talk about something else instead." This protects your self-esteem and promotes more respectful communication. Setting boundaries helps you build healthy relationships and protect your interests. Remember that your self-respect is the foundation of the respect of others. Lesson 9. Feedback as an opportunity to grow. Feedback, even when it appears negative, is a valuable tool for personal growth, self-improvement, and understanding your weaknesses. Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius emphasize the importance of self-reflection and accepting criticism as an opportunity to improve. For example, Seneca said, "Not he who speaks is wise, but he who listens." This statement reminds us to accept criticism with humility, rather than as an attack on our personality. By viewing feedback as an opportunity to improve, we open the door to a deeper understanding of our own weaknesses. For example, in a work environment, when a colleague or manager points out flaws in your work, it may be painful, but it also provides an opportunity to analyze and improve your skills. Instead of becoming defensive, you can ask yourself, "What could be improved about my approach?" or "How can I apply this feedback in the future?" Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "No one can harm me except myself." This serves as a reminder that it is we who determine how much others' opinions affect us. So, negative feedback is not the end, but rather a new starting point on the path to self-improvement. As each of us strives to improve our skills and the quality of our lives, it is important to remember that negative feedback usually reflects how others perceive us, and can open our eyes to aspects that we ourselves do not notice. Feedback, even if it is negative, can be a powerful tool for growth and self-improvement. Let's look at 3 real-life examples where negative feedback helped people improve. 1. Teamwork. Imagine a situation where an employee at work receives feedback from colleagues that he is too dominant in discussions and does not allow others to speak up. Instead of perceiving this as an attack on his abilities, this employee decides to take advantage of the feedback. He reflects on his actions, begins to consciously allow others to speak, asks open-ended questions, and actively listens to the opinions of the team. As a result, the atmosphere in the team improves significantly, and employees begin to feel more involved and valued. The employee not only receives recognition, but also develops his or her leadership skills. 2. Customer service. A small restaurant receives negative feedback about the quality of service. Customers complain about slow service and impolite staff. Instead of ignoring these reviews, the owner of the establishment decides to organize a survey among visitors and conduct training for the employees. Weaknesses in work were identified, and the staff underwent training in communication and time management. After some time, the restaurant begins to receive positive feedback, and the number of regular customers increases. The owner not only improved the quality of service, but also became more sensitive to the opinions of his guests. 3. Personal life. A young man receives negative feedback from his girlfriend that he is too busy with his career and does not devote enough time to her. Instead of brushing off this opinion, he decides that the health of his relationship is more important. He begins to carefully plan his time, setting aside special evenings for dates and joint events. As a result, their relationships become stronger, and the young man, having learned to find a balance between work and personal life, becomes happier and more satisfied. These examples illustrate that negative feedback can become an incentive to take action that will ultimately lead to significant improvements in both professional and personal life. Lesson 10. The power of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not just an act of kindness towards others, but also a powerful tool for freeing yourself from emotional burdens. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius emphasize the importance of working on your own emotions and perceptions. In his meditations, he says, events are not determined by the things themselves, but by how we react to them. This statement emphasizes that forgiveness is a choice we make, not an obligation. By forgiving those who have hurt us or disrespected us, we free ourselves from the burden of hatred and anger, allowing ourselves to look at life with a clear mind. For example, imagine a situation at work where a coworker constantly belittles you in front of others. Instead of harboring resentment, you can try to forgive them, realizing that their actions may stem from their own insecurities or fears. This does not mean that you justify their behavior, but in doing so, you reduce the pressure on your own emotions. As Epictetus says, it is not what happens to you that matters, but how you respond to it. Forgiveness in this case can become your personal path to inner peace and confidence. Forgiveness also opens the door to new possibilities. For example, if you were able to forgive a friend who betrayed you, you can restore the lost relationship and create a deeper connection based on understanding and trust. It is important to remember, as Seneca reminds us, nothing is so useful for much more than the ability to forgive. By choosing to forgive, you take control of your life and create space for personal growth. So, forgiveness is not an expression of weakness or loss, but on the contrary, it is an expression of strength and wisdom, freeing us from emotional burdens and allowing us to move forward with renewed vigor. The power of forgiveness is an important aspect of emotional and psychological well-being. Here are 3 examples from life that illustrate this power. 1. Family conflicts. The golden example is the relationship between parents and children. Imagine a situation where an adult son is constantly criticized by his mother. She does not appreciate his achievements and often makes comments about his life. The son may decide that he deserves respect and, accordingly, leaves the relationship, but this only increases his internal tension. However, if he decides to forgive his mother, even if he does not agree with her behavior, this will allow him to let go of the resentment, and instead of hating, he will be able to look at her actions with understanding. As a result, he can restore communication and establish good relations. 2. Friends who betrayed trust. Let's say you have a close friend who told a secret that you confided in him. You felt betrayed and hurt. If you keep it to yourself, it can affect your emotional state and other relationships. However, if you decide to forgive your friend, this will allow you to not only put the past behind you, but also restore trust. Perhaps your friend did not realize how important this was to you. Forgiveness opens the door to dialogue and allows both of you to grow and learn from your mistakes. 3. Work and competition. In a professional environment, it can happen that colleagues or managers behave disrespectfully, for example, pointing out your shortcomings in a group, despite your best efforts. This can be a source of stress and resentment. If you choose to forgive them, it will free you from negative emotions, allowing you to focus on your career and personal life. Forgiveness does not mean that you will ignore their behavior, but it will allow you to act more consciously, to focus on your development and build positive professional relationships. So, friends, forgiveness really does have power. Forgive those who do not respect you. This will free you from emotional burden and help you move forward. Dealing with disrespect is not just a challenge, but an opportunity for growth. This simple yet profound truth can be the cornerstone of your personal development. We all face situations where we are disrespected or even neglected. Such moments can be painful and frustrating, leaving us feeling vulnerable. However, as the philosophy of Stoicism teaches, every challenge is a chance to learn something new about ourselves and the world around us. Stoicism is a philosophy that emphasizes the inner world of a person and their ability to control their reactions to external circumstances. The founders of this philosophy, such as Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, emphasized the importance of inner calm and resilience in the face of life's challenges. Applying these 10 Stoic lessons to situations where you face disrespect can help not only in overcoming these situations, but also in your overall growth as a person. These ancient, yet so understandable and applicable today, Stoic principles will make you more resilient and wise, able to accept and let go, adapt to different life conditions and, ultimately, help you become a better version of yourself. So let's master these skills and make ourselves and the world around us more harmonious and resilient. If this content brings you benefit and joy, do not forget to share it with your friends. Like, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments and requests for new topics of interest to you, illuminated by the light of Stoic wisdom. Thank you for watching and we are waiting for you again.